Were England underprepared for this competition? Because that is my
I
feeling. They were
don't.
underprepared.
You can't call them underprepared, Ankit, for simple reason is they've been playing cricket. They played a series before they came in.
See, England, they are the defending champions. They won it in 2019. When you look at the class of 2019 and compare them with the class of 23, what is the big difference that you see, Anjum? Where they beat Pakistan and how? You know, it was a convincing win. Afghanistan just played to the merit of things, the situation, and they won the match. Up until now, India has been the team to beat in the ongoing ODI World Cup. And while the Rohit Sharma led unit look to continue their winning run, they run into defending champions England, who have not been at their best in this competition. On paper and on form, India look to be hot favorites at Lucknow. And on this session, we are going to preview the game at length. And to do that, we have with us former India women's cricket captain Anjum Chopra joining us live on India.com. Thank you so much for sparing time and joining us, Anjum. Like
Thank you,
always, it is
Ankit.
a
Thank you very
pleasure
much.
to chat with you. I'm
Likewise.
sure
Thank you.
I'm sure it's been a busy season for you with all the travel and all that involved.
Yeah, the travel is there. It takes quite a bit of time, but I think it comes as a part and parcel of the profession. So as long as we get to go to the ground and stand at the center where the players actually play, so I think that just takes away the fatigue of travel.
Exactly, I felt so. Anjum, without wasting any time, let's preview the India versus England match that takes place on Sunday. Uh,
Sure.
the English team, they have not been at their best. They have played 4 games, they have won just one. And let's start with the English team. On paper and on form, they are not better than India right now. So, is it safe to say India start favorites, overwhelming favorites?
Yes, absolutely. Because the reasons you mentioned that on paper and on the park, there's a massive difference in the performance of the English team. Yes, so when we get into this contest in Lucknow, irrespective of what the conditions are, India definitely will start favorites. But something, sorry, something always tells me that let's never forget a wounded tiger. So whilst England team has not done well so far, I think for India is another contest, another competition, another important match against the reigning world champions. So I'm pretty sure that nobody in this Indian lineup will be taking the game easy.
Another important match for sure. And of course, England cannot be written off. But I want to find out from you, Anjum, were England underprepared for this competition? Because that is my
I
feeling. They were
don't.
underprepared.
You can't call them underprepared, Ankit, for simple reason is they've been playing cricket. They played a series before they came in. They've had a good amount of ashes in their own backyard. So they've played cricket before coming into this tournament. Might not have been too much of white ball cricket, but every player has rested enough. Every player has, in the last probably 8 to 10 months, has been managed enough by by the English Cricket Board to ensure that the players are ready for Ashes and the players are ready for white ball World Cup. So it's unfair to say that they haven't played cricket. And look, they're all very seasoned players. Head to head, I remember when I was doing the first warm up game for England in Guwahati, and you looked around the team warming. I was like, oh, what a batting order! Oh, what a bowling lineup! One bowler after another is like there is a player behind each player standing to replace or to substitute, and that luxury was there in the English lineup, which it still is. But just because the players have not clicked together. They've not shown that kind of form together, whether it is batting or bowling, and the team in totality. That's why we are saying that England is not prepared enough. I think if you look at the English lineup, more than I think as far as India is concerned, apart from India, if you look at the Australian lineup, I think English players have more players. English team has more players which are more tuned to the Indian conditions.
You're right. How much is England missing Jason Raw, or maybe a Jafra Archer, or also maybe a Moeen Ali?
So Jofra Archer was the call that of course England selectors took in favor of Harry Brook, and I guess Harry Brook we were when Ben Stokes came in and Harry Brook was to miss out. That was the information that came out. It was obviously going to be a surprise because he's a present star batter and a player for the future, and I think they went for experience. So they definitely have their own reasons. But once Jason Roy was left out, I don't think they're missing him. Again, you can miss anyone because You want to
On
see
the
the exact
hindsight
frame
call,
of what
you can
happened
make
for.
everybody.
And Moeen Ali is there. It's not that he's not there, but when he comes in, whose place does he come in? Who replaces? Who does Moeen Ali replace? I mean, he can replace anyone. He can bat anywhere. But then when in this lineup, the players who England team is selecting are unable to deliver. It's just that they're unable to deliver. It's not that they're not quality players or match winners.
Right, and you think the Lucknow surface, the conditions are going to assist England a little more than India? Because I feel the toss is going to play a big role. Toss is going to be the boss. Lucknow is in the northern part of the country. Dew is going to come in. So, keeping
Well,
that in mind,
surprisingly, Ankit, Dew didn't come in, although it was a day game. The last game that we covered, I was there for the last match. I think Netherlands was playing. So Dew didn't come in, of course, because it was a day game. You didn't expect it was slightly cool, but because the surface is going to be very similar, it's going to be a red soil pitch, which is going to be used in Lucknow, where you get that grip, you get that turn, you get that bounce a bit for the spinners especially. But it's not a pitch where you'll say, oh, you can't you can't bat on this pitch. Whilst Sri Lanka did manage to put the runs on the board, it's not that you can't bat on that pitch. However, I mean, it'll be exciting selection. What selection does Indian team go in with? Because they have the luxury of a seam bowler, or they also have a luxury of playing an additional spinner. So I guess once the team sees the conditions a
right.
day before, they can take that call.
See, England, they are the defending champions. They won it in 2019. When you look at the class of 2019 and compare them with the class of 23, what is the big difference that you see, Anjum?
I guess they've not just gotten off the blocks well enough. The warm-up game, one of the warm-up games got rained off, and they had to travel all the way. So I guess they haven't just clicked, especially for Wood and Wokes. Both of them are class players, and they lead the bowling attack for the English team. They haven't. They've picked wickets, but they've not picked wickets as much as we're used to seeing them, and England is used to seeing them as well. Again, injuries coming in as well, especially to Reece Topley. From he comes out from one injury, gets into the other. So the bowlers haven't delivered. If you look at the batting lineup where we talk of on their given day, if they start hitting the ball, they can also go closer to
This is
350.
a
And we
team
know
that
that the
6 or 7 months back, Anjum was getting 400, 450 at ease. And that is
absolutely,
the problem.
absolutely
Like
sure.
now, what has gone wrong? And these guys, they have all the expertise of these. They have all the know-how of the Indian conditions because they play a lot of IPL over here. So they spend about two
Yes,
months in India. They will be acquainted with the conditions. So that cannot be one of the reasons. Most of these players are used to playing in such conditions. So getting
absolutely.
acquainted is the problem, or acclimatization. What is it? Is what I'm trying to understand.
I think the rhythm for a bowler is absolutely critical. When you look at the bowlers, either they are short or they're bowling too up to the bat. You have to obviously understand what the conditions are. The way Mark Wood was bowling when he was playing for the Lucknow franchise, you could clearly see that he was right on top of his rhythm. And now when you see him bowling, you know that he's bowling well, but he's not on top of his rhythm. He's not getting those early breakthroughs. Wokes was replaced. He was not picked for the last game when England played. So how many times have we seen that Chris Wokes is rested for a match? So these are different stages, and World Cup doesn't give you time to recover from such a slump. It bites you. It comes to haunt you very quickly. So for you, you have to really dig in deep as a player, as a team, to emerge from this. And collectively, you only emerge once you dig deep and start fighting all your challenges as an individual. Collectively, you will never emerge. You will have to fight your challenges individually and then come out on top.
After 8.5 minutes, let's now focus on the home team, the Indian team. They have been on a winning spree. They have hardly put a foot wrong this tournament. Do you see this team going all the way now? Forget about the England
See,
match. Do you
I'm
see
just
this team
keeping my
going all the
fingers
way?
crossed. See, all of us want Indian team to win the World Cup. There's no denying that fact, or we all want that World Cup to come back to India, and it's just that every game we play out there, every ball, every moment, it's just whether we are following the game or watching or covering. I guess all of us are very feeling very happy and pleased by the way the team has started and started off the blocks. So we want this fairy tale to continue, but at the same time, we're all very, and I can say that we're very aware of the fact that what if one bad game happens and where we lose that
Exactly.
one game. So I don't think we should live in that moment of fear. Let's live in the moment of present where the team is doing well. The options that we have had, the replacements of a player coming in for the other, whether it was Ishan Kishan earlier, whether it was Shami coming in, or earlier Ashwin coming in, whoever has come in as a specialist on that particular day has delivered. So it's a moment to feel happy, and we just have to play cricket on Monday. We don't have to, put that pressure on ourselves as a team or even as followers of what's going to happen. What is happening? Let's just breathe easy. When the match happens on that particular day, it's about good nine match league games, and then we get into the semis. So let's take each moment as it comes.
We are now getting to understand how strong this bench strength is. I have also felt that Rohit Sharma has changed his game a little. The mindset, the approach has changed, where he's looking to go after the bowlers, take them on in the first 10 overs, go aerial and all of that. Have you also spotted this change of mindset from Rohit Sharma, where
I
he's
think
being
it's
ultra
been
aggressive?
I think it's been coming for the last two seasons. If you look back at the way he was trying to play T20 cricket, I think it was a 2021 T20 World Cup in UAE when he was trying to force the pace and go. We were all looking at him like that's not Rohit Sharma. Rohit Sharma is all finesse and class and timing and grace and the way he plays those shots. And why is he forcing the pace? But now when he's forcing the pace or he's getting those shots, it's just that not that these shots were not there earlier, but we got to see them more in T20.
He's
Now he's
playing cricketing
incorporating them
shots, Anjum.
in.
He's playing cricketing shots.
So he's a class player. He doesn't need when you say force the pace, is only somebody who cannot time the ball well. He's somebody who always times the ball well. It's just whether he decides to play it along the ground or he decides to play it in the air. And that's the skill of Rohit Sharma that pull shots were always his strength. It wasn't that it was just there for T20. It's
Right,
just that
right.
he's playing them very well. And the start that both Shubman and Rohit are giving is just allowing everyone else to contribute in a very structured manner. So
Right.
whatever is happening, it's just because the team has allowed themselves to be in this position. It's not that somebody else has granted them these successes. So it's they've earned it and they've done it well.
I feel Kohli looks hungrier than ever before. Kohli is looking hungrier than ever before. He's looking
As
to
a
get a
batter,
100.
as a player, you don't want to miss out on this stage, a home World Cup, when you're one of the top batters in world cricket. You don't want to miss out on this stage to perform. It's a different high altogether. The moment you win the match for your team and you raise your bat and come back to the dressing room, you know the nation is
And then there is
applauding. It's a
Leherado
different
playing in
high.
the backdrop.
The only sound of music, the only music that is in your ears at that point of time is the applause and the appreciation of the entire stadium and everyone just saying well done as you walk back to the pavilion.
See, there are reports, and we can probably confirm it. Hardik Pandya is not going to play the game against England at Lucknow. Is the team going to continue with Surya Kumar Yadav, or do you see maybe a Ishan Kishan, or why not a Ravichandran Ashwin get a go?
So that decision, I guess, the team would take once they have a practice session and once they know what the conditions are like. There's still a couple of days to go before making that call. So they have that luxury. Ashwin's played one game. Surya has played a game. Unfortunately, he missed out on scoring a big one. Shami has done nothing. I don't see Shami going out of the playing 11, and I don't think he
Surely
should
not.
also. So once he plays, then the only call will remain whether you go in with an additional spinner, that is with Ashwin coming in into the squad in place of Surya, or you just go in with five bowlers. So that's the call up. I guess Indian team, after seeing the conditions, might make that decision. Might be in favor of Ashwin.
Might be in favor of Ashwin, right? That would give them a luxury of having six bowlers in the side, right? And the report
Yes.
also suggests that Hardik Pandya will now only feature in the last two league games. See, by now we already know that India will surely go through and make the semi-finals. Now Hardik Pandya will be required probably in the semi-final. But yes, you made a very apt point where you said Shami cannot be rested right now. Can we give a rest to Mohammad Siraj? Workload
Is there a
management and
need?
all of that, workload
No,
management
no,
and
no.
all of
There's no
that.
work. There's ample rest between the games. India played a game, I think, on a
Right, right, right,
not even
right,
on the
right.
weekend. So they've got like 5 or 6 days. They played a game, I think,
Mm-hmm.
on 22nd. Their next game is on 29th. So one day of travel and 5 days of relaxation is or what you say, training or whatever you do is good enough. You don't want to give anyone a break for what workload matches. We are thinking that they are playing a match every day. They're not playing a match every day.
Right, right, right. Anjum, when I spoke about the toss, I said toss will be the boss, like it was the case in Dharamshala. Do you think toss is again going to be the boss at Lucknow? Because
No, not
I
exactly.
feel
No, no.
not exactly,
No,
not
not exactly.
exactly.
As I said,
Lucknow,
the pitch that I saw, the pitch that I was when I was covering the game, I think Sri Lanka versus Netherlands. It was a pitch which did offer assistance to the seam bowlers in the morning, but as the day progressed, it became nicer for batting. So, for to extract anything could be there in the evening. Ball might swing around, but it doesn't say that in the morning or in the afternoon when you go and bat in those conditions, it can become very challenging. So I guess again the Indian team will want to chase because that's what they like, but you never know, they might want to bat in the conditions.
surely they have found a set template, Anjum, over here, I feel, where they look to bowl first. How much that is, how much of a right decision that is, we'll find out later. Uh, Before I let you off, Anjum, I'd like to find out who, according to you, at the current scenario, who, according to you, are your four semi-finalists. See, for sure, India is one of
It's
them.
I think India is looking pretty much clear of the pack along with New Zealand and South Africa at this point of time. As I said earlier, I think when we had a chat before the World Cup started, I was always talking about England being there, but the way England has performed, obviously, it's not the best so far, and South Africa has done really well. So, looking at the standings, looking at how the things are going, at this point of time, I'll still say India, New Zealand, South Africa, and Australia.
And there is no chance Pakistan makes a backdoor entry or something of that sort.
So backdoor entry is possible for everyone because they all need wins, but the losses haven't assisted them and the losses haven't helped. So when they start winning, if, for example, if Australia loses, then they go and play. I think Australia is going to be playing New Zealand in Dharamshala, and from there on, one of the matches go here or there for Australia as well. So those things, when you start counting out on them, then the net run rate comes in. But if you talk about leaving the fourth team out and looking at the three teams, I think another game or so for everyone, whether it is India, New Zealand, and South Africa. I think they'll be very much ahead of the pack.
Anjum, it has been the season of upsets, but none bigger than the upset Afghanistan pulled off the other day, where they beat Pakistan. And how? It was a convincing win. Afghanistan just played to the merit of things, the situation, and they won the match.
I don't know whether it was, we were all feeling very happy for Afghanistan, or feeling
Why
very
not?
unhappy
Why not? Why not?
for
Why
Pakistan.
not? You saw Irfan
When
Pathan
Pakistan,
shaking a leg
no,
out
I was,
towards Rashid Khan.
yeah, I was very surprised that Pakistan batted the way they did. In fact, they were in a lot of trouble. They managed to pull things around and get more than 250, which was at least a decent bowling target for them to go out there and defend. But yes, credit to Afghanistan the way they batted. The kind of pressure that Pakistan absorbed to get to 270 odd, the same kind of pressure or even greater Afghanistan batters absorbed to ensure that they remain in the contest because we all know how important Zadran right at the top is, how important Gurbaz at the top is. So they've continued their opening partnership in style. And then the number three batter or the number four batter, even Rahmat Shah ensured that he doesn't play a silly stroke and get out. He should take the team to the final run being scored. So the progression from match number one, where they played Bangladesh, to the match they played against Pakistan, I think the team has progressed very well for Afghanistan, and that was a very heartening sight to see. In the middle of a World Cup event, team has evolved.
I mean, knocking off two big teams is no mean feat. It's a massive feat. They knocked off the defending champions and Pakistan as well. And before the tournament started, Pakistan looked like a good enough team in these conditions. And look at the way they are performing now. They become like crybabies. After the match, they are like, "Ye Ghana nahi chala," and all of that. This is utter nonsense that is happening. I mean, they are saying that the tournament is held by BCC and not ICC. ICC. This is pretty weird, you see. But yes, we got a fair idea as to what to expect on Blockbuster Sunday when India take on England, the defending champions. Of course, India start hot favorites given the form they are in. Thank you so much for joining me on this session on India.com, Anjum Chopra. Surely we'll catch up
Thank you
many
very
more
much.
times this World Cup season. Thank you so much.
Thank you.